Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, we've got the special UFO report for you tonight, and we've got the team together. Brent Cousins, along with Paula Asteria, Dr. J from Dr. J Radio Live, and Dark Hour from Dark Hour Paranormal. Let's get to the incredible videos just in. Take a look at this. All right, let's run this once again. I'm going to get a close-up and a side-by-side comparison of the original to the left and the blown-up version to the right, and we get a dang good look at whatever this object is captured in Central California. Just a few days ago, we're looking at it in broad daylight. Guys, I want to get your opinions right now. I'm looking at this and I have no idea what the means of propulsion of this object is. It's just hovering in the sky. It's broad daylight. And when we look at this up close, there's no explanation to what it could be. But I can tell you right now, it's a legit UFO. Now, let's get everybody's thoughts.
Wow, this is gnarly footage. Of course, we have something fantastic because, first of all, it's in daytime. But what is it? Obviously, it looks like it could be like a jet engine, but that's obviously not what it is. It's rotating. Where's the means of propulsion? What it looks like is it could be possibly an ET drone. If everyone remembers, in the mid-90s, there was some fantastic footage, and particularly a photo came off the coast of Miami. I believe the year was 1995, and you see something very similar actually docking to a typical flying saucer. Of course, the typical flying saucer is much larger. Is that what we're seeing here? Is this sort of an ET drone that is just out looking for something? Obviously, it's over a field. Is it looking for a specific type of plant or something? Whatever it is, though, it obviously doesn't look like it's any sort of physics that we understand, or at least any sort of physics that we use commonly. Whether this is alien or this is something that we created that we're testing, it's obviously using some sort of science that is unknown to us. Fantastic find.
This again reminds me of the jellyfish craft that was spotted in Iraq in 2018. Kind of like similar to the show what we had on the show yesterday from Mexico. But as I looked at it closer, it is floating above this field pretty low, and it doesn't really seem to be moving. So I'm not sure if that is necessarily the case. Maybe this could be some sort of balloon, and it's just hanging there. But again, it does also bring to mind the jellyfish craft.
All right, now let's get to the next video just into Third Phase of Moon. Is this some kind of military or police escort or in hot pursuit of this unknown or a couple unknown objects? It's very strange. Just, guys, I want you to take a close look at this.
What the fuck is it chasing?
We had a helicopter in the sky. Dark. What is that shit?
What are those three things right there?
What is that?
They're chasing something.
What the fuck? Look at those. Look at three of them.
What the fuck is it? Keep recording it.
All right, we're watching this right now. I'm going to add some enhancements, brightness, contrast, because right now we're looking at something quite strange. Police helicopter in pursuit of this fuzzy, dark shape object. And some people say there's a couple in there, and I see 2 UFOs, maybe even 3, but look at this thing. Phoenix, Arizona. Something just happened, and people are saying, what did they witness in their backyard? Guys, I have no idea. All I know is we're looking at something very peculiar, and if you're enjoying this live premiere, give us a big thumbs up. Now, let's get to the panel. Everybody, what's your thoughts on this?
Whoa, what did I just hear? Oh my god, this one is so insane. Okay, so what we're seeing here looks to be a helicopter, possibly 2 helicopters, chasing what seems to be, I don't know, is it a TR-3B? Is it some sort of black triangle or a dark flying saucer? It's really hard to tell. Obviously this is a little blurry, but I'm trying to make out whether it's a triangular craft or a circular flying saucer type craft, but just the fact that it doesn't have lights on it and how fast it's moving really goes to show that, you know, either it's a spy plane by our government or maybe it's extraterrestrial. Very cool, I like this one a lot. Okay, if this one is real, this is some mind-boggling footage right here.
This too is gnarly footage because you have, again, what we've been seeing happen for the last several months. You have something of ours, whether it be a fighter jet. In this case, you have a helicopter chasing what looks to be a UFO. Notice how this black UFO is not having any sound, but more importantly, lights. It does not look like it wants to be found. A lot of times, these UFOs seem to put on a light show. This time, whatever it is traveling kind of slow. I would think it has the ability to skyrocket out of here, but no, it's just traveling ahead of the helicopter. Very weird shape, but most importantly, I want to comment on the fact that we're watching something that generally should show a light or a glow, and yet you see nothing. I would love for us to get a hold of the helicopter pilot and find out what kind of cameras they had on that. Well, I mean, we should have access to that footage, and what the helicopter pilot and maybe co-pilot for themselves saw. And fantastic job for these people who were in their backyard apparently hanging out that actually saw this and realized something crazy is going on and filmed it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have anything to show on Third Phase of Moon tonight. Again, thanks to the people out there who are doing their job and keeping their eyes in the sky. And also, in this case, capturing reference points. It's important to capture the corner of a building, or in this case, you have the backyard wall. Everything like that lets us triangulate what we're actually seeing, and this is one of the greater videos that's actually at night, since nighttime is much harder to see.
Interesting indeed, and who knows what the heck is going on. Arizona, New Jersey, the whole world, we're seeing these objects in the skies, and some of these have no explanation, and we'd sure like to get your comments. Now, we've got an incredible video just into Third Phase of Moon, and we're kind of on the fence of putting this out, and we've looked at this multiple times, and we're wanting to get your thoughts on this. Is this a broad daylight sighting of a flying metallic disc in close proximity to a commercial airliner captured by a passenger? All right, let's just roll it. Okay, we're gonna get a close look. Again, a side-by-side comparison, and everything seems to match up. You're looking at somebody within a commercial airliner. They pull out their cell phone, and we're looking at this disc, a metallic disc. No doubt about it, it's the classic Bob Lazar UFO video. The refractions of light, the glass from the window pane looking out from within the cabin, it all just looks correct. But is this manipulated in any way? Guys, I want to get your thoughts.
This is really, really amazing footage. I hate to say it's too good to be true, but unfortunately with AI these days, we have to worry about the fact that a lot of people are just trying to mess with us, because historically, you needed a lot to hoax a footage. Now you just need a computer and pay one of those services that gives you access to the AI software to create this. Now, we do know, first of all, let's just assume this is real for the sake of conversation. We do know there's a lot of amazing footage that has come from people filming outside their airplanes, whether it be a Tic Tac or a typical flying saucer like this, which very much looks like the sport model. And also the way it's traveling, this thing is seamless. You don't see any rivets or anything like that. So I'm gonna hope it's real. And if it's real, this is definitely the best video of the night. If we're being duped, I just would hope that the hoaxsters stop with this, because to muddy the waters, I mean, you're not gaining anything, the hoaxer. I don't understand what the purpose is of trying to mess with believers. So I really, really hope this is the real deal. Obviously, I can't say for sure, but we need more information. But other than that, if it is real, very amazing footage. What could be literally just like the sport model that Bob Lazar talked about, that was that S4 that he worked on in 1989.
If this video is real, it should in fact be shared everywhere, because this is very clear footage. I'm actually having a hard time believing that it could be real though, but actually looking at it, it's hard to tell, because you know the sun is glinting off it, and as it moves it kind of like glints off the side of the craft perfectly. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like if this was real, it'd probably be on the news everywhere. It definitely looks like, you know, not a very large flying saucer. It looks like the standard Bob Lazar Area 51 type flying saucer. So definitely cool, but I don't know. Not sure about this one.
All right, once again, these videos seem to baffle people around the world, and we want to get your opinions. Is this a legit UFO? It seems to match up, but my indication that I think there's some manipulation, AI possibly. And we're going to continue to study this for the next few days, and we'll have a follow-up and let you know our decision on whether this is legit or not. We wanted to share it with everybody to get your opinions. Feel free to chime in. Now, more videos just in. Is there some kind of huge black triangle found in Antarctica? The TR-3B? Guys, you be the judge. As we pull in real time, again, we've just seen these coordinates a few moments ago, but they struck us right here at Third Phase Moon that they're deeming of sharing right here to the world. Are these ancient building structures an ancient civilization in Antarctica discovered? It's hard to tell, but it does seem interesting. And then to the right of this, there's something unusual, to say the least. A black triangle on a circular base of some sort in close proximity to this building or buildings that stand quite tall. Let's do some measurements here. The witness who discovered this said they stood about 70 feet. I'm seeing about 65 feet or so. There's some shadows casted. Let's measure this one up, the black triangle, and it's approximately 65 feet once again. That's pretty interesting that they're the exact same height. It's hard to tell, again, what's going on unless we had boots on the ground there, but good luck with that. But as we get a close-up look at this, something stands out. Is this a TR-3B on some kind of circular launching pad or landing pad? My God, Brett, what's your thoughts here?
Yes, Blake, Antarctica, it's a mystery. We're finding all sorts of things there. Google Maps is kind of unveiling it. And what we're looking at, it's hard to tell what it is, but we're looking at something that really resembles what was just discovered in Guatemala. These new structures that has never been seen before, and now this in Antarctica. Don't they look the same? Look at the similarities. It's pretty outstanding. It would just be great if we had boots on the ground like they do in Guatemala, which they're going to be discovering here and doing a lot of exploration. But we need to get to Antarctica and look at this. See if this was real. If it is indeed real, it would be quite the phenomenon. It'd be a great discovery.
We're watching this once again, and it's weird. You got anomalies in close proximity to each other. You got the city and then this black triangle. If this indeed is some kind of structure, I would have to guess if there was some kind of ancient civilization there before the Ice Age, this would have to be hundreds, if not maybe over 1 million years old. So the ruins would be quite decrepit. Obviously, these are ancient civilizations if this is indeed what we're looking at. Again, they measure in height 65 feet, both the black triangle and these buildings. But what is this circular pad in this black triangle? It's just so bizarre, guys. I want to get your opinions in this live premiere right here on Third Phase Moon. And if you could help out, copy paste this link and share this all over your social media and tell the world and question, is there an ancient civilization that has just been discovered on Google Maps? We're showing you the coordinates so you can do your own research. It's there, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days that Google Earth might just scrub this. Videos are continuous, and the people have their eyes on the skies. Let's take it out to the next panel member, Doc Skinner from 1028 Productions.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, this is some pretty cool. This is a cool find on Google. Pretty cool. Looking at this, I went to the coordinates myself on Google Earth, and so I could zoom in and spin around and check out these objects. And you also notice that there's a direct line. So it's making me wonder if these photos were taken, obviously 2 different periods of time. And the snow coverage makes me wonder, when the side on the left that doesn't look like it's covered in snow, what time of year was that? Was that during their summertime? And do they have that much melt in their snow? Is this like a comparison? And if so, then when we zoom in on these objects, man, this is really interesting because you have 4 almost identical looking objects that seem to be the entrance to what could be a lost city. It makes you wonder because we see a lot of photos online showing supposedly historic images of expeditions where they have taken photos in Antarctica showing ancient structures. And supposedly, in the rumor mill and in the conspiracy world, that is one of the main reasons for keeping Antarctica so top secret and not allowing the main public come to visit. They want to keep control of things and I guess the narrative. But these objects, now we've had objects that have been found on Google Earth in Antarctica before. I've tried to point out shadows. We have to worry about shadows and mountainscapes that create large shadows. And if you follow this, what I call the snow line up to the coast, you'll see some other mountain structures that, if you zoom in closely, you will see that they are shadows from the sun. And so that's what I started looking at, and then I moved back to our location at the latitude and longitude that we're given, and looking at these 4 in particular peaks, I can't see them being shadows of anything. I can't see it, so it's making me wonder: is this a real structure, or maybe a temple, something from an ancient civilization that has been said to have thrived at one point in history in the location we know as Antarctica? Will the secrets of Antarctica finally be revealed? Will nature take its course and have a snow melt like we've never seen before, revealing possibly more pyramids or tombs or temples of some sort? Will we finally learn of a civilization that was at one time just a myth, but now historic fact? Keep the images coming. Send them in the third phase of moon. We'd love to get this out there and have these discussions. The triangle to the left of the towers, I'm not sure about that. TR-3B, who knows? I'm leaning towards a shadow, but it's too symmetrical, two straight lines. So I'm on the fence with that. And the triangle, I call this a teardrop candy because it's been Christmas time and you get all those fun candies. This looks like a white piece of frost with a walnut or something, a triangle walnut put in it. But it is, it's been measured as like, I think 60 something feet. So that, I have no clue what that could be, but it is peculiar. It's out of place. And if you also notice around the triangle on the white cushion, as a, whatever you want to call it, there seems to be what looks like either a trough or a trail that comes down and underneath it and off to the left towards the snow line. So it makes me wonder, is this a pathway or does it branch off and come to these 4 pillars? Who knows? But this is a great find.
More videos just into third phase of moon. Buckle up. Take a look at this. Broad daylight. Flying saucer encounter.
Que tiene luces. ¿Ya viste, pa?
Es este, ¿no?
Ah, no, ¿ya lo viste? Está arriba del rotoplas.
All right, we're doing a little bit of stabilization on this, enhancing it, not messing with anything except enhancing so we could get a better look at it. I believe what we're looking at is legit footage. We try our best not to put out any hoaxes out there. We're just trying to share with you things we don't know what it is. And right now we have no idea what we're looking at here. We could speculate that this could be some kind of balloon, but as we look at this a little closer with stabilization and more enhancement, this thing's pretty stable in the air. There's a little oscillation, there's some ring of lights around it, kind of the characteristics of what Bob Lazar stated, that the sports model was a little unstable and it undulated just so much. But again, I have to say it's pretty stable in the sky as it goes behind that power line there, antenna. I'm not exactly sure, Brent. What's your thoughts here? Yeah, is this thing rotating? It's so curious. Here's a great close-up right there. And we see, again, multiple colors. Silver. Is this thing, again, metallic? If it is, what's keeping it up in the sky? This is very interesting. It's a UFO. It's unidentified. We don't know what it is. But, man, this one's a curious one.
Yeah, you mentioned that you saw some indicator that this craft was spinning. I'm trying to see if this is some kind of optical illusion, but as we get a little closer here, it's off at the distance, but let's bring it up to the point as it passed behind the line there. Again, authentic video, broad daylight. This is what people want to see, and the people on the ground, you could hear that they were going la loose. There's a strange light, there's a craft, and then it passes. What is that, a water tower? I'm not exactly sure, but is this some kind of craft? It has this dome on the top. You have these white lights surrounding it. It seems pretty stable. Is it rotating? If it is, it's very slow at the moment. There is that undulation there, but then you see these other white lights that pop, and we see a reveal of some kind of orange and a little bit of white on top. Man, this one's a weird one. We're not seeing any tether or anything revealing that this is simply some kind of hot air balloon or a blimp, a parachute. Don't think so. No drones. I'm not seeing any prop propeller blades. I'm telling you, I just don't know what it is. Again, this close-up photograph really catches my interest. That we did a lot of enhancements to bring out the detail on that. But again, this is something unidentified. Guys, what do you think is going on in this video?
This particular sighting is curious to me because it's somewhat reminiscent of the more traditional UFO design we've seen in our skies since the early part of the last century. It's quite clear that this object is some distance away, and we do see a pole in the foreground eclipsing the object as it moves steadily along. One of the things we've always observed with these unidentified crafts is the particular movement, or lack thereof, that they exhibit. In many cases, movement may appear erratic, chaotic, or spontaneous. In other cases, we find the craft smoothly drifting along, as if there was some type of consistent propulsion being implemented. With the object we see in the video, there is a certain oscillation, as Blake mentions, around the bottom of the craft, either something reflective or illuminating, which doesn't appear to run in a cyclical fashion, but rather back and forth. There are no signs of exterior lights that we should be familiar with in respect to conventional aircraft, and because this object seems to be moving at a decent speed, I don't believe this to be a balloon caught in the wind. At the mercy of the wind, even without too much turbulence, one can usually detect and observe the effect on the craft. We've heard from many different sources and certain factions within our governments and privatized organizations that there are those who have been working with anti-gravity methodology and have been quite successful based on certain reports. Perhaps you and I will not know the extent of this technology until it is used backwards and forwards, but if we are witnessing craft that belong to us, that certainly don't hold anything in way of conventional propulsion, of course, we are left with the idea that we may be witnessing inadvertently some of these anti-gravity systems in action. As discussed many times before, the architecture of these objects certainly reflect the propulsion that they may utilize, and in this case, the acorn shape certainly doesn't remind us, once again, of anything conventional. There's an undeniable continuity on the facade of this craft, once again spurring curiosity about the actual design of what we see in our skies. Objects moving about of their own accord, without any wings or propellers, to stabilize them within their environment. This is a very curious video and certainly one to add to the archives, as there are so many others who parallel and reflect this exact experience.
Appreciate it, Michael from Dark Hour Paranormal. And let me tell you, you're right about some of the things in regards to the phenomenon. These videos are hard to explain exactly what it is, and that's what we're here for. We're trying to find out what the phenomenon is. I appreciate everybody joining us in our latest episode right here at Third Phase of Moon. It's been our pleasure bringing you the latest evidence from around the world, and if you've captured anything amazing out there, don't hesitate. Upload that video to YouTube, copy paste that link to my email. Who knows, maybe you'll see your video right here at Third Phase of Moon, and the world can decide what it is. This is Third Phase of Moon, along with our panel members. Everybody be safe out there. Keep your eyes on the skies. Blake Cousins. We'll see ya next time.